Good afternoon, students. Today we start the new lesson, and that is the last lesson of first semester examination, that is environmental changes. So here we, after completing this lesson, we complete the course of first sem also. So in the coming exam also this lesson is there. So concentrate well, it is geographical lesson, and learn from map book also, and if any doubt is there, feel free to contact me. Now we are focusing in textbook, and whatever the extra activities, otherwise what work I am giving, that also you should do. Now let us move. What is the word? The heading itself is telling that environmental changes. Many times we are hearing these words, environmental changes. Do you feel that really some changes are there in the environment? What do you feel? Yes, of course, definitely. Nowadays, how much that heat we feel, no? Actually, this is the time, October half means gradually the weather should be changing, and next is winter season. But we feel this too much hot, and we are really uneasy, feeling uneasiness because of this extreme climatic condition. Weather changes every day. So why all these things are happening? And nowadays we cannot predict the seasons also, and winter season very hardly we get December and January, and all other seasons, all time, all other months in whole year we feel extreme heat only. Why? Even in rainy season also, after stopping the rain, we get perspiration, and we are not comfortable to sit in the room without AC, otherwise fan. I mean, such a lot of changes that happens, especially the atmospheric heat is increasing very much. So why all this happening, that we will see the reasons. So this only we can say environmental changes. Some changes are there in the environment. Why these changes takes place, and what are the changes, that all we will see. So before going to that, we should find out some terms. One is atmosphere, that already we had studied in the previous geographical lesson, different spheres. Definition also we had studied. Here also we are starting with that only. What is atmosphere? The air that envelop the earth from all sides is known as atmosphere. Here definition is given like that. What is atmosphere? The air. If you see the atmosphere, what is here? We cannot see anything. But air is there that you can feel. Yes, no? Just you blow. If you blow like this, you feel the air. And we feel the wind and air and everything just on our body. Otherwise, the surrounding region, on the leaves and everything, we feel that air is there. So the air that envelops, that covering, where the earth from all sides, it is covering from all sides, that is known as atmosphere. Simple definition. So here the more importance is given to the air that covering from all sides of the earth, that is atmosphere. Definition is clear. Then the atmosphere is getting polluted. Yes, from small classes you are studying atmospheric pollution, water pollution, like that in 8th standard or so, previous geography lesson we had studied what human activities harm the different spheres. So here atmosphere is getting polluted due to what? Human activities. Underline that also. Due to human activities only these atmospheric changes happening. Changes due to human activities. So atmospheric changes, otherwise due to pollution, atmosphere is getting polluted due to human activities. Then the environment gets polluted due to, which are that human activities, otherwise which are the sources for that? Industries. Then other factories, power stations, vehicles, and our own breathing, because while breathe we breathe out carbon dioxide, and uses of more electronic gadgets. All these are the sources, otherwise causes for these changes, and that is done by human beings. So, from the first paragraph you understand what is atmosphere, the air that covers the earth from all four sides, and this atmosphere is getting polluted due to human activities, and mainly the activities are, these human activities are concentrated on industries and factories, power stations, then vehicles, electronic gadgets, like that many reasons are there. Okay, clear? Now, the changes that occur in temperature, direction of wind and moisture, etc., due to global warming are known as environmental changes. Now, we are going to the definition of environmental changes. So, what is this environmental changes? What is the definition? What is that, the environmental change definition? The change that occur in temperature. Just you see that the words temperature. The first one, we feel that no, temperature is changing, changing means it is increasing. Then the next one, direction of wind. Wind direction. Then the third one, moisture. In the atmosphere, moisture is there, that also you know. So, these three factors, temperature, direction of wind and moisture, in these three factors changes occur. Means temperature is changing, means increasing. Direction of wind direction is changing. Now, if you see that wind is in winter season, already winter means wind is started. And today morning also there was slight wind in the morning. Like that winter season you can feel that wind, and in monsoon also you can feel that, and in summer season that hot wind that is also will be there. So, wind direction also changing. Then moisture, in the atmosphere moisture is there, that you know in studied about this formation of clouds and rain, then water cycle and everything, then how the moisture is there in the atmosphere, then water evaporated, the sea water evaporates and moisture will be there. So, if moisture is there, that is good, it makes cool, but this moisture level is also changing. So, when these three things changes, as then what happens, the environment also changes. So, these three things changes means environment also changes. Then why these three things are changing? The reason for this is global warming. Reason for this is global warming. And now what is global warming? That we will see. Global warming. Warm means what? Temperature increasing. Global, globe. You know what is globe? You have seen previous classes. Globe, miniature of the earth, globe in the shape. Yes. So, global warming means the earth is getting heated and heated. Otherwise, in the earth the temperature is increasing. That is only simple meaning of global warming. So, when here temperature is changing and wind direction is changing, moisture level is also changing due to global warming, then totally we can say environmental changes take place. Understood? This is environmental changes for definition. So, underline that second paragraph also. The changes that occur in temperature, direction of wind, moisture, etc. due to global warming are known as environmental changes. Now, see, one box is given there. Find out the places that experience extreme rain, heat, cold and extreme climatic conditions with the help of the given table. Also find out the reasons for the same also. Extreme means not moderate, maybe up to the both the ends, extreme level. Now, see, the places have given here. To doing this, just you keep your atlas also with you, not now, when today when you do this as homework, and then you can come to know that what is the reason. Now, see, the country, heat, cold and rain, that data is given there. First one is Russia, and it is in 15 degree Celsius heat and minus 20 degree Celsius cold. It is normal. Then rain is 100 centimeter. sometimes the cold may be increasing, means it may be minus 1, 2, it will be like that, and heat also sometimes variations will be there, but at the average level this calculation is done. Now Russia, this is the situation, and Iran 30 degrees Celsius heat and 10 degrees Celsius cold only, very less. Then 50 degree 50 centimeter rain only. Like that Brazil 38 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius cold, 250 centimeter rain. Norway 10 degrees Celsius heat, minus 40 degrees Celsius cold, 50 centimeter rain. Philippines 35 degrees Celsius heat, 30 degrees Celsius cold and 300 centimeter rain. Saudi Arabia 45 degrees Celsius heat, 29 degrees Celsius cold and 10 centimeter rain. So here 10 centimeter, otherwise 50 centimeter means very less only, scanty rainfall. And if you see that in the heat column, just you can see that some countries more than 30, more than 40, 45 means it is too much. Here also sometimes we feel in summer 45, 40, near about 45, something like that. And in that cold, some minus 20 also there, then minus 40 also there. So why this difference you feel that? In the textbook, in that data it is given in different countries, different way of heat, cold and rain level. Why it is happening? I don't know, in 6th or 7th standard you might have studied about different zones on the earth. Which are the different zones on the earth? Geographical zones. First we can say that tropical zone, then temperate zone, then frigid zone. Remembering about 3 zones, tropical, temperate and frigid zones. And where is this tropical zone in that on the earth? Tropical zone is between where? Between the equatorial region, between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this is tropical region, between 2 tropics. Which are the 2 tropics? Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So this is known as tropical region. And what's the speciality of this tropical region? 7th standard you have studied that sunrise falls straight over there, and there in these regions vertical sunrise will be there, so more heat we feel, extreme heat will be there on the tropical level region. So when you keep your atlas with you, just you go to these countries, first you find out where Russia, then Iran, Brazil, Norway, whatever the country's name is given there, you find out the location. After finding out the location, you find out where it is. It is in the tropical zone, otherwise temperate zone, or in frigid zone. And if it is in temperate zone, where is the temperate zone? Above Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Yes, after Tropic of Cancer and after Tropic of Capricorn, the next zone which is coming, that is temperate zone. So we can say that 23.5 degree 0 to 23.5 degree, 2 tropics are there, Cancer and Capricorn. Then from there to 66.5 this temperate zone. So 23.5 to 66.5, which zone, which area is covering, that is under temperate zone. Their temperate means moderate, their medium climate will be there. So they are almost medium climate, means not too much extreme heat. So then you can find out which country is in which zone. And after the temperate zone, which zone is coming? That is frigid zone. After 66.5 to 90 degree polar regions, up to there, what comes there? That is frigid zone. So in frigid zone, what is the speciality? It will be too cold. Yes, no, frigid, too cold regions. So here it is up to 23.5 degree. What is there on the tropical? Then 23 to 66.5 temperate zone. Then 66.5 to 90 degree polar regions. This will be frigid zone. And find out the country. Suppose Russia, where it will be coming? It will be this only. So that it is minus 20 degree cold, then very less heat there. Like that, with the help of atlas you find out the location, then you find out in which zone these countries are located, then it will be easy to find out the reason. Then in the reason what you can write here, Russia is located in the frigid zone. So, there will be less heat and more cold. Like that, Philippines, otherwise Saudi Arabia, where it is located, find out. Philippines 35 degree Celsius heat, 30 degree cold and 300 centimeter rain. So, 35 degree Celsius means it will be there near equator region. Find out the position of Philippines. And Saudi Arabia also find out the position, and it is desert region. Yes, then if desert region is there, then what is that speciality? More sand and less rain and all these things will be there. So, today as homework you do this work in the textbook only, write the reason. But how can you write the reason? For that you should find out, with the help of atlas you should find out the location of these countries. Location means in which zone, which is not mentioned in your textbook, but in the previous classes we had studied different zones that you should understand, tropical zones, then temperate zones, then frigid zones. Accordingly you should do the homework. Okay, today as homework you must do this. Now next one, what is weather? Have you heard the word weather? If you watch news every day, this weather news will be there in the television. Now you may be watching IPL only, not the news and everything. Yes, no? So, weather report will be there. Weather report will be there. So, weather report means what? Madam, just you reply, madam will do. Okay. If you have not watched television, weather news, today you watch it. Spend little time for that in any language. You can watch the news channel. Then at the end of the news channel, weather report will be there. Then at that time they will be showing how much of different places, what is the climatic, otherwise weather condition, heat, rain, and up to what Celsius, all these will be showing. And what today morning is showing, morning news what is showing, that may be different in the afternoon news, because the weather changes will be there. So, what is weather and what is climate? Two words are here, you should understand what is weather and what is climate, and here it is weather. First we are mentioning about weather, and next one is climate. Climatic changes, environmental changes, climatic changes is there, but you never heard the word that climatic news is there, climatic report. You may be hearing weather report. Why climatic report is not there? TV news, it will be weather report only. Now let us see what is the difference between these two words. See, weather, the condition of temperature, rain and moisture. Moisture, other word humidity is given here. The condition of temperature, rain and humidity in any region at a particular point of time is known as weather. Here three things are there. Which are the three things? First one is temperature. In the previous also we had done that. Then second one, temperature. Then rain. Then moisture. For environmental changes, for temperature and moisture, they both were there, but instead of rain, direction of wind was there, changing the wind. This when wind changes, it affects rain also. Rain is because of the changes in wind only. Here we are using this word temperature, rain and moisture. These three things you should consider. And what is in these three things that you should consider? Condition of temperature, rain and moisture, otherwise humidity, in any region at a particular point of time. That is very important. Particular point of time. Point of time. This is known as weather. So, particular point of time means today morning what is the weather, that is particular point today morning only, point of time is there. And today afternoon what is the weather, now we are considering afternoon weather particular point of time. Today evening and morning, afternoon and evening definitely weather will be changing because of the sunrise and sun setting and the movement of sun and everything depends on all these things. So, as a result definitely the weather is changing. So, this weather is considering for particular point of time, that is what we are telling, that weather report in the morning, otherwise weather news in the morning may be different from the weather news in the evening. So, because this weather is changing, weather changing means the atmospheric temperature is changing, then rainfall changes will be there, then moisture, otherwise humidity also will be changing for a short period of time, otherwise particular period of time, particular point of time. Instead of that, otherwise you can use the word for short period, very short period. So, this is weather. What would be the weather of this place? Yeah, write your answer in your notebook after carefully observing the given map. Now, see the given map there, then afterwards you observe and write what will be the condition of weather. Can you find out it from there? Then Mumbai what will be there, Ahmedabad what will be there, Delhi what will be there, the figure is given there, just you have to identify. That is what I am telling. Today you watch news and then you, the weather news you must watch, then afterwards you will get idea what is this, okay, and after that you can write this answer. Now we move to climate. Now what is climate? The same thing only, temperature, rain, moisture, then their average condition for more than 35 years, otherwise for a longer period. We are considering it as 35 years. And here if it is particular point of time, otherwise shorter period, short period, but here the same only, all these three things, temperature, rain and moisture, but here we are considering for a longer period of 35 years. So, climatical changes, climate change. So, before, now it is 2020, almost completing. Now, minus 35 years pehle, what was the climate of India? So, considering climate, we are calculating, otherwise climate change, we are calculating the time gap of around 35 years, a longer period. Definitely a lot of changes 35 years back to the present condition. 35 years back this much extreme heat was not there, ask your parents, their younger age. So, here nowadays temperature is increasing and this much of climatical changes what we do see was not there. And now you think about after 35 years, now you may be 13-14 years students plus 35 years, you are near about 50 years old. At that time what will be the situation, what will be the climatic condition of India? Lot of changes will be there again. So, when we calculate in such a way, we can say that this is climatical condition, otherwise climatical changes. So, just to understand, in both weather and climate, three things we are considering, temperature, rain and moisture, and here this is for particular point of time, but climate is for longer point of longer period, considering as 35 years, the changes that occurs. Otherwise, the average condition, because it is for longer period we are considering the average condition, and it is for shorter period just point of time we are considering, morning, afternoon, evening, otherwise particular 2 o'clock what will be the weather, otherwise particular 3 o'clock, just like that point of time we are considering. Okay. So, from map book also these points will be easy to learn. So, the average condition of rain, temperature and moisture for more than 35 years is known as climate. Underline that also. So, now I think that you are very clear with what is weather, what are the difference between the weather and the climate. Now, see some pictures are also given there. One side you feel that it is just like desert, one type of plant only there, and the other side it is just we can say that glaciers or something that is melting. Okay. Now, here below that picture it is given there, greenhouse effect, greenhouse. Now, what is greenhouse effect and what is greenhouse farming? Both are different. Let us see. Greenhouse, related to global warming, you might have heard, otherwise might have studied in science, that what is greenhouse effect. But here we are thinking what is, first we are thinking about greenhouse farming. Which type of farming is that? Greenhouse farming. Will you construct any green color house to make to do farming? What is farming? That is agriculture only. And why this special this word is for that? Let us see. Greenhouse farming means countries with cold climate, means cold where temperate endings, temperate zone and frigid zone starting there, otherwise where more cold climate is there, then they receive very less heat from the sun, because very slanting sun rays they will be getting in that countries. Then what happens? This hampers the growth of the plants and vegetables. To grow the plants and vegetables in a proper way, what we need, air, water and sunlight is needed. That is basic thing in science you had studied. Air, water and sunlight is needed. Here what is the problem? Very less sunlight. Why sunlight is needed? Because sunlight, light and heat both are needed. So, here very less sunlight means these plants do not get enough heat for its growth. Then what happens? Hence, the arrangements are made to accumulate adequate heat from the sun. Very less slanting sunrise they are getting. Then when they get this, no, at that time they are trying to collect it and preserve it and stay there only. They are trying to don't get refracted, otherwise they are trying to get it in the agricultural field only. How it is possible? Very less sunlight only they are getting, then how can they preserve this heat at that from that sunlight? For that what they do? For that the roof is made of either glass or cloth to allow the sun rays to penetrate and sustain the heat inside the building, and this practice known as greenhouse farming. So, particular some region is selected for agriculture, otherwise farming, for cultivation of vegetable, flowers, whatever it may be. Then in that particular region, it is cold region only, very less sunlight they are getting, and in this particular region what they will do? They will put a glass covering. The farmers, they will keep a glass covering. Why glass covering? What is the property of glass? To attract heat. Yes, no? Near the window, if you go and stand over there, they just you feel that extreme heat is feeling. Otherwise, you have to pull the curtain. Otherwise, extreme sunlight will be coming inside. Why? Because the glass is transparent, and as a result, the sunlight is coming. Then you feel more heat. The same theory is applicable here. When you cover this region with a glass sheet, what happens? It's very less sunlight only, but that sunlight will penetrate, will go into that, and it will sustain over there. So, mostly in this region what happens? The farmers will try to cover this region, otherwise to put a lid, just like a lid, the cover sheet, a glass sheet over there, otherwise particular type of cloth over there, so that the heat can penetrate and sustain over there. Then it will help to grow the plants. It is helpful to the growth of the plants. This is known as greenhouse farming, not greenhouse effect, greenhouse farming. Now, what we have done here for greenhouse farming, the sunlight that we preserve it over here, otherwise the heat from the sunrise, we artificially preserve it for here for the growth of the plants. So, now what will be the greenhouse effect? Greenhouse effect means The heat that comes from the sun do not reflect back. It will stay there on the earth only. As a result, what happens? Extreme heat we feel. Here artificially we help to sustain the heat, but because of greenhouse effect, what happens? That extreme heat, that is do not reflecting back, that is sustaining, otherwise that is prevailing here in the atmosphere. That is greenhouse effect. But greenhouse effect and greenhouse farming both are different. So, one thing question is there, why are the doors and windows made of glass in countries that have cold climate? Where cold climate is there, glass and windows and doors are made of glass. Why? Because the glass will help the sunlight to get into the room, then they feel little warm. But if it is wooden, for extreme heat regions, otherwise equatorial regions, tropical regions, wooden glass and windows are very good. We are also using wooden windows and wooden doors nowadays. Now wooden doors, otherwise wooden windows, if you use, you feel more coolness inside the room, because wood is not transparent, it is not allowing the sunlight to get into, but glass is transparent and it is allowing the sunlight to get into. That is why the doors and windows of cold countries are made of glass, because glass will allow the sunlight to get into the room and it give warmth to them. Now changing climate, 5 minutes. In that changing climate, just to see some pictures have given there. Write one sentence about each of the pictures given above in your notebook. You can write not one sentence, you can write one paragraph regarding this. First one is about drought, then the next picture also, see third one, the fourth one glaciers, then fifth one just like that, very green plants and flowers, last one is about flood. Just you observe it and write some sentences, because I cannot predict that which type of questions may be government asking. They are more concentrating on this type of work, textbook textbookal activities and questions. But at the same time you should learn workbook also, because in workbook and map book also, map book give more importance. From math book learning it will be easy. So understand the picture, and suppose in the examination if this lesson is there, if any picture is given, otherwise any sentence is given, write 5 sentences about drought, otherwise flood, then you should write in the proper way. Many times I have told you, if it is for 5 mark question, don't limit the 5 points only, you write more, because you know you are not in government schools, you know very well how to write. So government question paper is more focusing on government school children. So you are not like that, so you should write more on this. Okay. Next we are going for what is global warming. Global warming. Globally it is warming. Just before this also I told you, global warming refers to an unequal and continual rise in the average temperature of Earth climate system due to the greenhouse gases. Now which are the greenhouse gases, that also you know. Greenhouse farming, understood. What is greenhouse effect, that also I told you. Now greenhouse gases also there. Due to this greenhouse gases, what happens? Global warming increases. So what is global warming? Underline that also. Global warming refers to an unequal, not equally, and continuous rise in the average temperature of the Earth climate system due to greenhouse gases. So who is the villain here? The villain is greenhouse gases. Which are the greenhouse gases, that we will see. So greenhouse gas is the basic reason. So from there climate system changing, then global warming takes place. So basically greenhouse gases, if we reduce the use of greenhouse gases, that will be beneficial for us. It occurs when certain gases in the atmosphere entrap infrared radiation, otherwise ultraviolet rays. This effect makes the planet warmer, which subsequently reaches to global warming. That also underline. When this global warming take place, some gases, certain gases in the atmosphere entrap the ultraviolet rays, otherwise infrared radiation. Studied in science what is infrared radiation, otherwise in higher classes you will study about this infrared radiation. And UV rays means ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays, it is not good, that to protect it from that we are using sunscreen and everything during summer. Sunscreen lotions you may be using to get protect from this ultraviolet rays. So, because of this presence of some type of gases, otherwise greenhouse gases, that because of that the ultraviolet rays that entrap here in the atmosphere itself, then ultimately that makes to the global warming. The earth again and again becomes warmer and we reach to the global warming. Suppose the example, if you see that greenhouse effect and global warming, one picture is given there. We, just to see the reasons. Deforestation, you know what is deforestation, opposite of afforestation. So, deforestation means what? Cutting of trees, yes, then burning that also. CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon, some spray and electronic some items, CFCs are there. Then motor vehicles, carbon monoxide is coming out from motor vehicles. Then greenhouse gases, that factories and smokes and other things. So, all these produces greenhouse gases due to deforestation, CFCs, oil and petrol engines, otherwise motor vehicles, then factories and all this. Then what happens? Through this it goes to the atmosphere. See, the picture is also given there, edge of atmosphere is also given there, then their ozone layer also will be there. Then what happens? Sun rays, sunlight it is coming from there, sun's picture is also given in your textbook. Then it is coming to the earth, the sun rays coming to the earth, but some of the sun rays are reflecting back also, but the other remaining coming to the earth. Then what happens? It is absorbed by atmosphere and earth, the sun rays. It is absorbing. When it is absorbing, the above sentence we had seen that certain gases in the atmosphere entrap these rays, ultraviolet rays. So, it helps to entrap. As a result, it is absorbed by the atmosphere and earth. Then radiation absorbed by the greenhouse gases. As a result, radiation also will be there, but it is not going out, it is reflecting back to here in the earth only. Then as a result, what happens? Overall, the earth will be getting heater and heater, increasing heat there in the atmosphere, otherwise on the earth. This is global warming. So, here in the picture we had seen that some basic causes. So, deforestation, some type of sprays, otherwise CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon, motor vehicles, factories, all these things, otherwise all these things which emits the gases are known as greenhouse gases. The names of greenhouse gases we will see in the next lesson.